Here we are, day 5. Just waiting for people to turn up. Angela, hey, how you doing? Bert, evening, mate. Jessa, Frank, Yoni, Christy. We've got Finland, Sweden, everywhere. Patricia, hey guys. Can you believe it's day 5 already? Jamie, all right, mate. Hi, Keith. Shay. Just give people a minute to get on, say hi to people. Hi, Kimberly. Hattie. Marianne. I'm frozen. Hemant, good to see you from Chicago. Yeah, honestly, Jamie, tonight it's going to be an eye-opener. Veronique, hi, how you doing? Dala, you're not finding the replays? They're definitely on the timeline somewhere, but I'll make sure they're all available. I've got everything recorded. Hi, Paige. Right, so let's get straight on with it. Action-packed night tonight, not quite as practical. Obviously, you've gone back. I've seen some examples of some of the stuff that you guys have done already, and I am so proud that you've actually got it done. It's amazing. Great to see what you've actually learned on this, and I've seen as well on some of Fraser's posts today. Hey Denise, good morning to you. About what's your win of the week. That loads of you have actually commented about this boot camp, so awesome. So what we're doing tonight, quick Q&A on a couple of the questions that have come in. Yeah, the lives are going to stay on for a little while, so you'll be able to go back and look at this, obviously. Going to go through a couple of the questions that we've got. I'm just checking my board to make sure I go through everything. And then we're going to get on to Facebook ads. Yeah, so we're going to go on to Facebook ads, and then we're going to talk, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I do with my network marketing clients, just to show you, if we really stretch it, if we really push the boundaries of what you can do with automation, this is what's happening now. So I'm going to show you that as well. So maybe give you some inspiration as to what you can do. I'm also going to have a special guest joining me tonight, so we can get questions answered where. Ideally, ask them here and now. There's that many. I reckon there's got to have been over 1,000 comments on these over the week, which, I've got kids and work to do, so I can't answer 1,000 comments. Although I would if I had the time. So ask them here. So some of the ones that I've picked out. Now, the first one is, someone said, I've been using the URL growth tool, and I get this get started screen. So how do I get around that? Well, you don't, because that's certainly for the URL, that is a requirement from Facebook, and that's why it's really, really important. I'm going to start just sharing my screen so we can jump over onto ManyChat, and I'll show you where you do this. Now, if you go to your settings, greeting text here. Now, on the very, very first day, we actually made sure the greeting text was turned on. So when people use a URL, they get a get started screen. Okay, Kimberly, superb. Yeah, and that's because Facebook, just like an email, you need to opt into it. Just coming in via URL, they get the get started screen, which is essentially them opting in. So you could put something in like, hey, first name, so remember, custom fields here in this black box. First name, that's how we do it. And let's put a little waving hand. Glad you made it here. We'll need to tap get started. Hello. Okay, and you can see how it looks. So there you go, that's a get started screen. So we're actually just making that a little bit more obvious what people have got to do. It tends to only be with the URL, but the URL is something that you will use quite a lot of the time. For ads and things like this, it won't be this experience, which is why I'm going to show you a really cool way of doing ads later on. But, and then you just hit save, and that's it, that's done. The next thing was, somebody asked, so what about all the people that I've already got? What about the people that we've already got? Now, if you've already got a list of subscribers on ManyChat and you've done nothing with them for a month, unfortunately, that's it. You're out of the 24-hour window. You can risk it and send them a message, but I don't advise it. So everything that I've showed you, we've talked about re-engagement right from the word go. And you guys have quite rightly said, we need to plan. Do you have to get them to do this first and then follow the URL? No, they don't. They have to click get started. So the URL will take them to a get started only the first time. Once they've opted in, once they've done get started, they won't see it again because they've given consent for you to market to them. They've opted in, yeah? So they'll only see it once. Yeah, so if you've already got a list and you haven't engaged with them, that's it. You're gonna have to do a sponsored message or something, which is very hit and miss. We've done a lot of stuff talking about re-engagement. So plan out exactly how you anticipate re-engaging with people and get that one-time notification within that first 24 hours. Really important that you do that. So you're planning how you're going to get back to them the next time on this first time when they're in. Otherwise, you're a bit stuck. Can we set up more than 24 hours? I'm not sure what you mean about that. Another one, unsubscribing tire kickers. Yes, absolutely. And I can't remember on what day it was. I think it was when we were talking about onboarding, that when people say, no, I'm not interested, we've put an action step in there for unsubscribing people, because you pay for a ManyChat subscription on a pro account. On a free account, you can have as many as you like. Obviously, you're missing features. But on a pro account, you can have as many people, you're charged by the number of subscribers. So clear your list. If people have not engaged for a long time, unsubscribe them. If people are going through and they say, no, I'm not interested, unsubscribe them. You're not blocking them. If they message you again, that's fine. But, you know, why pay for them? For multiple language, how would you do that? You would need to write the copy out. So the text box is in a different language. And then you could say to them right at the start, would you like this language in English or Spanish? If they select Spanish, you would perhaps then add a tag to that person and say, so you'd add this tag Spanish, for example, and then you would use what's called a condition. We're getting a little bit technical here. You would use a condition to say, if the tag Spanish exists, then you would send them down the Spanish version. If the tag is English, you would send them down the English version. So you can do it, but you know, it's a little bit technical. Start using conditions, which we haven't gone into this week. The only trigger we can do after 24 hours, SMS or email. Yeah, exactly, Edward, that's right. So you can use SMS and email outside of the 24 hours. You know, or if they're in a group or something like that you're in, they could click a URL link, which would bring them back in. That's engagement, URL link. What about the people who say yes and on board, but then don't act? How do you unsubscribe them? So you could actually set conditions or rules up. So I'm just going to try and find this in rules. So these are pro account features. I'm not going to delve very, very deep after this. So right, I'm going to share my screen. The difference between free ManyChat and paid ManyChat, a lot of the features, so custom fields and this sort of thing, you won't be able to use. So I've gone into rules here. So rules are over in automation down at the bottom, and I use rules all the time. But again, these are very much pro features. So I've set a date or time-based trigger. Let's just go back to this. So if I get rid of this, I can go, what's the trigger? So what's going to set this rule off? And it could be someone new subscribes to the bot or whatever. But I'm going to do a date or time-based trigger. And I'm going to set this. This goes off 3 days after last interaction at, who knows, 11 p.m. Yeah. So that's my trigger. 3 days after somebody's last interacted with the bot, action is, where are we? Unsubscribe from the bot. So that, once I turned it on, will then automatically unsubscribe everyone that isn't engaging. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Let me go back and do that again for you. Schoolboy error. I do apologise. I hope you enjoyed my desktop. So yeah, I've gone into rules. So I'll show you what I did here. I went trigger, date and time-based trigger, and selected the trigger goes off 3 days after the last interaction. You can put whatever you like, whatever time you like, and you can do it any number of times or just once per user. And the action, so action, just like all the actions we've done in the flows, could be to unsubscribe from the bot. So that's a rule. I'm not going deep into rules anyway tonight. What else was there? Anything else before we get started? We've got lots to get through. Yeah, I was just showing then, you know, you don't need to actually go and see their engagement. You can set a rule up, but that is, that's pro stuff and delving a little bit deeper. Obviously, want to try and get you in a place where you can start building bots and exploring it this week. Right, let's move on, shall we? So let's talk about Facebook ads. I've got our guest is going to be turning up in 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to, let's talk about why you would use a bot, first of all, for Facebook ads. And who's done Facebook ads before? Or who's got in trouble with Facebook ads before? Or who's had an ad account shut down before? Or who's had ads declined before? Facebook does not support network marketing, direct selling, home-based businesses. You can't put any of that in any sort of paid advert copy. You can put it in posts, but if you try and do that with an advert, then you've got to be really careful. Facebook do not support that. So you did it, but how did you get on with it? What have people's experience been with Facebook ads? Either give me a heart if it was amazing, a thumbs up if it was okay, tears if it was just an that's the comment just down there, blocked. So tears if it was a disaster, heart if it was amazing, thumbs up, but if it was all right, okay, let's see what you're doing with it. Now the reason, so we've got a heart that it went really well, tears, a thumbs up, bit of a mixed one. Got someone doing a wow, so I don't know what happened with your ads. Right, so there are things that you can say in a bot that you can't say in an ad. So we can say it's a home-based business, we can say it's network marketing, we can do before and after pictures if it's a health product. You can do all of these things within a bot that you can't do in an ad. So your advert would be relatively generic, and then you can expand a little bit on what you're looking to do. So what I'm going to show you first is how what I'm doing within ManyChat, so that we're ready to start setting up our ads. Some of the comments on here are absolutely hilarious. So I'm going to I'm going to head over to ManyChat, and hopefully we do go to ManyChat this time. Who knows? So Keith's response has been a thumbs up. So it was all right. Then he was loving it, and then thumbs down because it wasn't working so well, and then a devil with horns, and then presuming he's got banned after that. So superb. Absolutely love that. Well done, Keith. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna use the opportunity flow as a demo here. And if we look at this, let's zoom in. Now, remember when we set this up, one of the things that I put in this was a Facebook keyword, which was opportunity. Yeah. So if anybody messages the page with the word opportunity, then they're going to get this opportunity flow. Okay. So let's head over to Ads Manager as well. I'm just trying to keep an eye on Zoom to make sure that when my friend comes along, I get notified. Yeah. So Ads Manager. So here we are within Facebook Ads Manager. Now, the first thing I've done is hit create a campaign. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of Facebook Ads Manager and technically how to set this up, but I'm going to create a new campaign. Now for messages, Keith, Facebook moved the goalposts literally all the time. Opportunity, so the word opportunity isn't going to be in the ad copy itself, all right? So we can either choose traffic or conversions, but realistically, you're going to choose messages for this. So we select messages, and that means that Facebook is only going to send this to people who have Facebook Messenger. All right? It narrows your audience, but it's an awful lot of people, yeah? So here we are on, and this is at campaign level. So you have 3 levels to an advert. You have campaign level, where we choose messages. Let's say you were going to run a video ad and you wanted loads of people to comment on it. You would choose engagement. So you want people to engage with it. We want people to send messages. So we've chosen messages. And we're going to go straight through this. Next is ad set. And this is where we're going to come back to ad set, because that's where I've got somebody really cool come to speak to you. And there's various bits in here and this is where we set the budget, so how much we're going to spend and who we're going to target with this. And this is where the magic happens. And this is the advert itself. So I'm not going to go loads of detail into actually what we do, and call it obviously something which is relevant. And the page, I'm going to choose the Messenger Bootcamp page for this. I'm going to create an ad. You can go through, add your image or your video, add your text into it, add your headline, your call to action, which is the button which is on it. I tend to go with learn more, but this is the ninja bit, really. So there are various ways of doing this. If you're using ManyChat, you'll see that you can connect ads through there. I don't ever use that at all. They've got things like JSON where you can put code into this, which again is just, why would you? If I click on edit down here, this is about the last thing in your entire ad setup. So remember, this is a Facebook ad at the moment, and this is where we're going to get Facebook ads to connect to a bot. So let's choose text and image. So what we're doing is getting Facebook Ads Manager to send a message. This is not the bot at this point, but it's in Messenger, right? So I'll put a little bit of text in. always takes a second to catch up this thing. Opportunity below, we'll select an image, so we'll just chuck an image in there. Loads of stuff. An image of Fraser in there for some reason. And you can put a title in there if you want. And then down here, quick replies. So remember when we've been building messages, and you can either have a button underneath or you can have a quick reply which sits like an oval button underneath. Let's change this to go on, opportunity. And there. So you see that's down at the bottom there. And remember, Facebook comment is opportunity. What we're actually getting Facebook Ads Manager to do is getting people to message our page with the word opportunity, but they're just pressing one button. So if I preview this, so you'll see message. So this is what it would look like. Learn more about this opportunity. Tap opportunity below. Obviously word it better than this. Probably don't use a picture of Fraser. But when I tap this, so that is still Ads Manager. But now the bot has taken over. Did you see how there was there's no, that opt-in, there's no get started. It's a pretty nice user experience straight from the bot and then directly into ManyChat. It's seamless. As far as the potential prospect knows, they've clicked on an ad. Do you want to know more? Yes, I want to know more. Bot takes over. That's it. So there's no messing around, and we can actually be really, really specific with how we how we target people, which you can't if you like never boost a post. So this is specifically within Ads Manager, and that's how I set up all of the ads that we have. So with regards to the content, I will just touch on content in this. Yeah, and literally that is the best way ever. All the other things, so if you're using growth tools within ManyChat, all the different other ways, they all break. This doesn't break, yeah? It just works. It's so simple that it works, and it is the best user experience you will get. And if you're on any of the sort of messenger communities, if you just search keyword hack, that's what they're talking about. So we're using a keyword in Ads Manager to trigger. So Paula's saying that means we pay Facebook for the ads, or is there a way to avoid paying? Well, you could use somebody else's card and get them to pay. But I mean, Facebook is a business. It's a business page. You don't have to run ads. Everything that I'm showing you, let's leave. So yeah, everything that I'm showing you so far is you can do organically. So you don't need to be paying for ads, but there's going to come a point that you don't, that you kind of run out of that organic, or you think, you know, I'm in a place where I know how to onboard people properly. So I'm good at onboarding people. I understand my business now, and it's time to really expand it. I've got my process in place. Yeah. I can now expand. Well, how are you going to do that? And realistically, that means paid traffic of some sort, whether you're doing it through Facebook or YouTube or, yeah, we haven't used the word opportunity in the ad itself. We've used it in the messenger. Yeah. So in the ad copy itself, you wouldn't say network marketing opportunity. I quite often use things like we're looking for team members. You can say team members. you know, you kind of sell the benefits in the ad. You don't say it's an opportunity or a home-based business or direct sales or MLM or anything like that, because that's not supported. But if you just kind of sell what the opportunity is going to deliver, so you want to try and be positive in Facebook ads, then you can talk about a change in lifestyle. So, or perhaps talk about your story. I've gone from doing this to, you know, in 12 months, I was here before and I've managed to achieve this. If you want to find out how I did it, click this. So don't say recruiting. Don't make it sound like a job. Don't say everyone's going to be driving a Mercedes in the next 6 months. But stock images, again, this is something else I've found over endless testing, that don't use stock images. Certainly don't use product images, because you probably get in trouble with your company for that. Go with kind of really authentic images. We quite often use team members in this, just enjoying a little bit of success. So if you're trying to attract the ordinary everyday person to join your team to make, sort of a bit of extra money each month, they're probably not looking to achieve a Lamborghini and a load of models. There'll be a few that are, but the vast majority of people that are going to come and join your team are people like you. So what has it attracted you? That needs to go into your advert. So again, well, you certainly can't do things like before and after, and you can say the word diet, but you can't make claims about a diet. So you can't claim that it does something, or it will bring these results, or Jamie would like to be driving a Mercedes in 6 months. Well, quite honestly, I'm not going to tell you Jamie's story, but I know Jamie. Jamie has got the most incredible story. And, he's managed to, he's used this business to get himself out of a pretty bad situation. And that's something that a lot of people can relate to. So Jamie, that's the sort of stuff that you should be shouting about, because people can relate to that. And it's, do you know what, if he's done it, anyone can do it. Yeah. Because, you've only managed to do that because you've just got involved and got stuck into it, and you've changed your situation. So that's what it's all about. That's what your advert needs to be about. That people like you can come in and change their own situation. Yeah. And then you can get them into the bot and put your personality into the bot. I've done this as a very generic type of flow, but when you make your own, put a video in there, put some content in there which is just about you. So you say, make it fun, make it friendly. I'll show you how we do this when I actually demonstrate one of the systems that we have. Paula's saying, where do you find a list of words that are not allowed? It doesn't exist. And Facebook changed the list of words that are not allowed on a regular basis. So Russell Brunson calls that the epiphany bridge. That I've not heard of that before, but that sounds about right. What is it? What was that moment? What was the wow moment? Well, I'm going to have a few of those tonight. What was the wow moment? What was the turning point? So share your story. Story ads work very, very, very well. So, right, what should we move on to? I don't want to go too far ahead. I'm going to just find out where my guest is, and I'll introduce him. And we're going to start talking about audiences, yeah? And you are not going to believe how targeted you can make this and the information that Facebook actually has on you. And this is why you would never actually hit boost on a post. So do you want to boost this for $25? No, you don't. If you're ever tempted to pay, press that boost button, just send me the $25 and you'll get the exact same results. I'm not going to run an ad for you, but at least I'll be $25 better off and Facebook won't. So never hit that boost button, because it's just kind of putting it out there to everyone. And that's why we're going to use Facebook Ads Manager, because we can be incredibly specific with who we're targeting. Yeah, so the guy that's going to be joining us, is going to be hopping on hopefully any second, is a really good friend of mine. Yeah, sharing stories about the product or service without naming the product or service. You can target boost, but it's nothing like as good. You wouldn't find any professional advertiser ever boosting posts, really. So you can do it. Wouldn't recommend it. Some of the audiences we use are really quite complex and lookalikes and this sort of thing, and you just can't do that with a boosted post. Yeah, the guy that's hopefully going to be coming on and joining us, if not, I'm going to have to show you, is a guy called Phil Harrison. And Phil is a really good friend of mine. I've worked on and off with Phil for probably about 4 years now. And he is responsible for multiple 7-figure sales funnels, and putting incredible adverts and sequence. He uses bots all the time, but very much putting together full sales funnels, a lot within the coaching space. And some of these are the most well-known coaches in the world that he puts these together for and actually teaches how to do this. So I'm really pleased that he's going to be coming on and joining us at some point. Whilst we're hanging on for him, what I might start doing is show you some of the stuff that we've put in place. Or if there's any other questions whilst we're waiting, if you want to ask those now. Yeah, Phil's testimonials on my website. Do we have any other questions about this? Oh, it's here now. So.
Hey John, how you doing?
So yeah, here's Phil. I was just padding out whilst we're waiting for you. So yeah, as you can see, Phil has now joined us. I was just doing a bit of an intro for you and explaining that we've known each other and worked together on and off for several years now.
About 5 years, I think now.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to give a bit of a bio for yourself, but the things I've seen of Phil is he's probably one of the most genuine guys out there in the marketing space. But he's responsible for some of the biggest coaching funnels that are probably going on at the moment. 6-figure, 7-figure. I mean, what revenue has Helen's brought in over the last couple of years, for example? It's absolutely immense. So Phil is one of the absolute go-to guys when it comes to this sort of thing. So I'm really very, very grateful you've been able to come and join us tonight. We're just ready for you to jump in. If you want to say a little bit about yourself and then head straight into Facebook ads to actually go through what we can do with regards to targeting and just really, as I explained, it would blow people away if they knew what data Facebook have on you and how we can actually really delve deep into people's ideal prospects, if you like.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So really quickly, obviously I'm Phil, as John's introduced me. My specialist area has always been driving traffic from Facebook ads and then also creating funnels to help convert that traffic into some sort of paid offer. Now, there are 1,000,001 ways of being able to do that on social media. I have a particular way of doing it that works well for me and many of my other clients as well. And one of the sort of the secrets, if you like, to making social media and particularly paid traffic work for you is understanding how to target the people that you want to target. And I think the important thing that people need to understand is that with the way that Facebook works is it's a bidding system, basically. It's an auction. So you put your ads in and Facebook run an auction system against everybody else who's trying to target the same people that you are. And more often than not, for example, if you were a personal trainer and you're trying to target people for your fitness thing, you just pick the obvious things that come up in Facebook's targeting, which would be gym and fitness or things like that. And more often than not, it's where everybody's competing against that, so it's harder to get your stuff in front of them. So thinking a little bit outside the box and understanding a little bit more about how Facebook's targeting actually works can allow you to go after targeting options in Facebook that not everybody else is chasing, and therefore there's less competition and your ads get shown to them. Because just think about it always as an auction, okay? The more competition there is, the more harder it is to get your ads in front of people. But that doesn't mean that some of the main interests that people target don't work. For example, if you were targeting people with kids, there's that many people in the world with children that there's such a huge audience to target, you're still going to get your ads in front of those people. So I'm going to give you a bit of an insight before I sort of physically show you how I would target something in Facebook. I want to give you a bit of an insight as to how the data is collected for Facebook, and why certain things are a good idea to think about. So essentially, nearly all the websites in the world have what's called a pixel behind them, okay, a Facebook pixel behind them. So the owners of the business will upload a Facebook pixel to their website, and the pixel essentially fires information back to Facebook when anyone lands on the web page for that person. So say, for example, I was launching a new baby monitor, for example, that I just created. I had a Facebook pixel on my website, and Facebook will start to figure out what your websites are about, what your businesses are about, and so on, by all the interactions with the data going backwards and forwards. And it starts to figure out that the information coming from my website is about babies, and all the people that are looking at my website have babies based on all this data flying around in the background that none of us know about. And that then means that Facebook is collecting data from, I'd probably say billions of websites now rather than millions, that it's starting to figure out all these different categories, basically. So you then go on as a Facebook user. So I'm just Phil, I go onto Facebook, and Facebook knows where I'm going based on the tracking that it uses in the pixel. And so, say for example, I go to Google and I type in, baby clothes, and I click a website that comes up. I type in like cheap baby clothes. I click that website and it diverts me to the person's website that came up in the search. And that website has a Facebook pixel behind it. And Facebook has then recognized that me as a user of Facebook is looking at a baby clothes website. So it assigns a little bit of info to me that, all right, Phil is looking at baby clothes, basically, okay? Now, the more you do of this sort of stuff, the more weight it adds to you as a Facebook user doing different things. So this is why, and what people don't realize, Facebook is actually listening to you, having conversations. This is all a bit spooky, okay? But genuinely, Facebook is, the apps are listening to you. So you can be sitting in a room talking about going, say, oh, I'd really, really want to go to the Maldives. Okay, now I've said this, okay, I will probably tonight see adverts to the Maldives on my phone, okay? Because Facebook has recognition software in it for voice recognition. And so you're actually talking, it's picking up your words of your conversation, and it's a bit spooky, but when that little terms and conditions box pops up and you just instantly click it, you're agreeing to let Facebook listen to you and all the other people listen to you, basically. One for the conspiracy theories anyway. But the point is that all the data that Facebook figures out about you, from where you're going online, conversations you're having, and then you see ads, and I see an ad for the Maldives tonight and I click it, and that confirms to Facebook that I am looking for holidays for the Maldives. It brings up more and more data behind you. So as an advertiser, you can go in and you can be like, right, I want to target people that have toddlers between the age of whatever, or kids over than 15 or something like that, people that are interested in Mercedes cars or whatever. And if you were targeting people that, for Mercedes ads, you'd probably target people that were looking at BMWs and Audis and were interested in all that sort of stuff because they're similar car brands. So it's really understanding that the targeting options in Facebook are super, super relevant. And it is without question. There are other, obviously, websites out there like this now, but when you think about traditional forms of advertising, an ad goes on TV or in a newspaper, it's like hit and hope. It's just generic. It's like, well, we need to hope that somebody is going to see our advert that might be interested in going on holiday. Whereas with Facebook, you can target people that are interested in travel, and that your ad is likely going to be in front of somebody who is currently looking at travel stuff based on the data flying around the website about them. So you can be super, super targeted in your people, which means you can create campaigns and you create adverts that go to people that really are relevant to those people, basically. So, John, do you want me to give you walk them through an example of how I would target something on an
Yeah,
ad set?
maybe if you can jump onto an ad set and actually look at some of the targeting. So let's. Are you up for a challenge? If we kind of suggest a person and you try and find a target for him.
I will try. It takes a little bit longer normally to figure this stuff out, but I'll give it a go.
Well, it's a fast and furious example tonight. So let's say we want an English-speaking woman who is in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
She has a child. Should we specify an age for the child?
Let me write this down. So hang on. So English, 30, kid. Yeah, we can probably. I'm not sure how Facebook's targeting is still specific to the age as much as it used to be. We can give it a go. So we'll say kid. We'll say a young kid. Okay.
Yeah.
A young kid.
And what does she probably drive, this woman? She's relatively successful, so I think she's quite into BMWs.
Okay.
And she's got an interest in health and supplements.
Okay.
And she probably wants to. She's a professional, but she's got quite an entrepreneurial spirit, I would say.
Okay.
All right, so that's probably quite relevant to all you guys that are watching now. And some of the questions so far are things like, do you need to be bald to be a successful marketer? And I think the answer to that, Phil, is that yes, you do need to be bald.
Absolutely, yeah, and good looking. So yeah.
All the good looking. Yeah, people say, "Whoa, it's scary, cool, and amazing information, and great information, Phil. Thank you." So, you're describing me. Yeah, honestly, I do a lot for network marketing. So everyone's going, "That's me. That's me." Right. Yeah. Phil's going to show you now exactly how people like me and him target you with our ads.
Okay, cool. Right. So hopefully you guys can see my computer. John, just let me know if you can, please.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So essentially, when you're in Facebook, you're going to create an ad campaign, basically. And I'm not going to bring you into how you set all that up. I'm just more going to talk about all the actual elements of it.
Yeah, I've done the kind of campaign and connecting at the other end. It's literally just the targeting.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so when you're in the ad set bit down here, essentially you're looking to target that individual. So you're going to come down to here, and where you've got audience, this is where you're going to be spending your time. So essentially, you're going to change these parameters. Now, what we've talked about is going after a woman. So we're going to go to gender first. We're going to go after women there. We're going to go edit the age range. And the reason we're going to edit the age range is because if we're going for somebody with kids, typically it's going to be 25 to 35 is the age range. You know, you just use that from experience. You know that that's typically the age that women have their first kid is between 25 and 30. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule, but in the main. But if you wanted to be super specific, you could just target the age 30, okay, if you wanted. I give it a little bit more of a range because it then gives you a slightly broader audience, a higher number in the audience. Because the more specific you make these conditions, basically, then the more, smaller your audience is going to be. So you can see up here in the corner, Facebook actually tells you what your potential reach is. So with each condition that you put in, it's going to start to change this number. So if I say, you can see it's 6.3 million right now, females in the UK that are between 25 and 35 registered on Facebook. Now let's just say I drop that down to 30, that's going to reduce the number, okay? So
what would you normally say a decent sized audience is to start with?
Yeah, I think realistically you should be aiming for 1 million, really, something like that, 1 to 2 million, roughly around that sort of thing. Sometimes if it's too broad, it's really hard for Facebook to figure out in that group of people which are the ones to show the ads to, because when you set up ads and and Facebook tries to track who is clicking it and who's doing the action you're asking them to do, it starts to build up a profile. So say, for example, I've got an ad of 1 million people. and I set the ads away, and over a day it goes to like 4,000 people in a day, and then 150 of them like decide to click the ad and opt in or do whatever I'm asking them to do. Facebook looks at that 150 people that have done the action you've asked it to do, and it starts to like look for patterns in their Facebook profiles, like things that they've liked, websites they've clicked on, and things like that. And it'll look and it'll say, right, those 150 people, you know, let's just say 75 of them have clicked Mercedes or BMW. So we're going to start to show this ad to more people in the 1 million audience that have clicked BMW that fit the criteria. So Facebook will look for patterns amongst the profiles of people that are engaging with the ad, basically, okay? And then it helps, because Facebook isn't just going to say, all right, here's 3.7 million people that match your thing exactly, because that's just a number, 3.7 million people. There'll be a smaller percentage of those people that are the people that you're after. And we can narrow that down a little bit by doing this. So where are we? So we're going to go to there. Now, languages, this is important because we don't want all languages. We want people that are, if, you know, unless you want a different language, we want English speaking, okay? So you're going to go to this, and you're going to type in English. I just click UK, but you can have US if you really wanted. So that's that. Hasn't really changed the number, which, you know, is fair enough. And where is the normal targeting option gone, John? I can't even see it. Where is it gone? There it is. So completely blind. Right.
Yeah, just changed it so you've got to.
Yeah, Facebook have a habit of literally changing things like layouts. It's always the same information, but they love changing the way it's laid out every couple of weeks. So basically, we're going to look for somebody who has kids. So you can type children and see what comes up. Let's see. Scroll down. Might be has kids. They might have changed it because they do change these options. But this will give you an idea.
If you hit browse, it brings up the last time I did it was browse, and then it brings up the demographics.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, fine, cool. So go that way down here. Parents, there you go, perfect. So John was well on the ball there. All parents, there you go. So you can come in here and you can click which age range you want. So we would say, well, we're going to say 3. We're going to do preschoolers, okay? So click that there. So you can see, okay, Facebook's still saying there's 3.1 million, 3.6. I'm going to change that because that is, all right, sorry. The reason that that's happening, guys, is you see this little button here, and this is important to know, okay? This is Facebook's like thing they brought out recently to try and help expand the reach of your audience. But typically, most people say, don't start with this, leave this unchecked, okay? And now it's going to reduce it. So you can see there that currently in the UK, based on Facebook's targeting, all right, 25 to 30-year-olds, okay, women, English speaking, okay, who have preschooler kids, there's 29,000, okay, roughly. That's not exactly obvious, like accurate. So this is why I make the audience a little bit broader. Now you could even do it from 20 or something like that. And I imagine if I change this as well, English is going to, UK is going to change it a little bit, but not by a huge amount. Yeah, so it's going to be exactly the same. So you can say that if you're targeting, you know, that type of women for your ads, that would be what you would go for. But obviously, when I'm saying 1 million, this means that there's like a huge gap between 62,000 and 1 million. So if this was me and we were targeting entrepreneurial women, okay, with that entrepreneurial flair that we're interested in entrepreneurs, I would actually take this out, okay? And what I would start with is entrepreneur, like that. So entrepreneurship, click that. And you see you've got 2.2 million, okay, like that, all right? Now, what you can do is, an example would be, you can narrow the audience by clicking here, which would mean they must also need to match. So we could go with like BMW, for example, okay? So if you're interested in BMW, okay? So you can see there that there are, according to Facebook now, with that targeting, 25 to 35 women that are interested in entrepreneurship and also interested in BMWs, okay, that there's 540,000 of them, okay? So you can see how you can play around with the different targeting options to try and build your thing. Now, I say that an audience size of 1 million is good. The thing is, if it's pretty bespoke, if it's pretty niche, okay, if you know very well the person you're going after, it doesn't matter if it's less than 1 million, because the more niche you're making it, okay, the more accurate your ads are going to be delivered to the right group of people. So million is like a broad range. I wouldn't go over it, but under it, it's fine because you're niching down and you're taking it to a more targeted group of people. Where I wouldn't run ads is probably anything less than probably about 100,000, okay, to start with, unless it was local. Okay, if you were doing it just in, say, London, for example, that would be fine. But when on a national scale, it needs to be around 100,000 plus. So it's just an example. I'm going to say this one here. So we get rid of BMW, we go to health and wellness. So here, there you go, 1 million on the dot. Okay, give or take, or obviously. So there's 1 million women roughly on Facebook, that age range, entrepreneurship, but also like health and wellness. Okay, so there you could move around, you could do it. You could have in here, what I would probably do if you're going specifically after with kids, if this was me, then I would go down to browse, I'd go to demographics, I would go to parents, and I would click all parents, okay? And I would leave it like that. So, and then you've got 2,200 people. I would probably narrow the audience age range to maybe 27 to maybe 33 or something like that, or even 30 you could go to. And now you know that you're going after that group of women. Or is that not added in? Is it added in?
I can't tell it behind your head.
It hasn't. Okay, so right.
Darlo's asking what numbers if it's for an audience in the USA. Realistically, it's the same. In the USA is about the most expensive audience you can go for. So for me, I'd still be looking at the same numbers of people in that audience, but I'd want to be more specific, have a really good idea who I was going to be targeting.
Yeah, definitely, no question about it. In the US, you know, if we did an audience, I mean, I could probably do it now. To be fair, if I switch that out, so we've got entrepreneurship. Let's just get this parents one working. So, and then I'll switch out the country. Parents, all parents, parents all. Okay. Right, so 100,000 people. So that's where, obviously, if I now open up this audience, that'll extend it, obviously, quite a bit. Okay, so 310,000. So, you know, you might increase that again to make it that number. Now, so we've got 310,000 there, all right? I then come up to here and I change this to the US. Working. Oh, there. United States. Okay, there. You see how it's gone to 1.8 million, all right, for those guys, okay? So that, again, you know, you're looking at a much, much bigger audience there at just that generic, that sort of, well, fairly generic targeting. And that's where you would niche it down a little bit more. So you might put, and so narrow further, could go health and fitness. You probably wouldn't go after something like BMW there, because BMWs aren't massive cars in America. Basically, they're big, but not anywhere near as big as Europe. So yeah, you can see we're targeting now 25 to 35 women that are interested in entrepreneurship, that have children of any age, and are interested in health and fitness.
Paula's asking, how does Facebook know that I'm a parent?
Because of the example I was giving you at the beginning, basically, where if you're going around, like, when you're logged into Facebook, or Facebook drop cookies behind your when you're using it, and you move around the internet, when you go onto those websites that have, like, if you like schools or school uniforms, or, you know, even if you buy in shopping stuff like kids foods, basically kids branded foods. I mean, like, you know, maybe some of us do eat, like, you know, 5-year-old, you know, baby food or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Unlikely, but you're only going to buy that normally if you're interested, if you've got a kid and you need to feed it with that food. So Facebook is tracking everything that you're buying and where you're moving around, and if you're sitting there having a conversation day after day with somebody about, oh, my baby doesn't sleep, or my kid's at school, or whatever, or they're at secondary school, or they're going to college, all of those conversations are being picked up by Facebook, basically, with the majority of them. So if your phone is within reach, it's the same as Alexa, Amazon Alexa. You say the word Alexa and it triggers Alexa to do something. Well,
I realise everybody's Alexas now have all just gone off.
Yes. Yeah, basically. That's the whole principle. It's tracking. It's listening to what you're saying. Just try it. Have some random conversations with people about something, like say, that you need your roof fixing or something like that, or you need builders, or, what's the thing, watches. So when I talk about wanting to buy a new watch, like literally I'll go onto Instagram and the next day and there's like 10 million adverts for watches, basically, so that's how it works, and it's very, very clever. It's very, very clever. So I hope that shows you the power of how these systems can really work.
That's perfect. Just another couple of comments on here. So Dallas saying again, so same range when you first starting off, probably aim for about the 1 million mark. So I'd say, yeah, that's correct. Does Facebook understand all languages? Facebook understands everything.
Yeah. Basically, unless there's a country where Facebook isn't in, which I know it's restricted in some countries, but a random tribe in Africa who doesn't have the internet is not going to have their language, but everybody else's it'll have.
Ruth is typing chipmunk, possum, squirrel, so I'm presuming that she's looking for targeting with ads for small furry creatures. I think the point being, guys, that you have been putting your information into Facebook for many, many years, and you have to understand that Facebook is a business and it's a free platform. So what do you think the product of Facebook is? It's you. It's your information. Yeah? And you're giving it to them freely. So there you go. That's why they know so much. It's because you've told them.
Yeah. The next time you like a page on Facebook, understand that when you like that page, you're telling Facebook a lot about you, and then it's going to start to show you ads that are relevant to the page you just liked, basically. Yeah. If you go and find a vegan page, some of you might be vegans already. If you're not, and you go and find a vegan page and you like it, you'll start to see ads for vegan stuff in your newsfeed.
Exactly. Right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Phil. Really, really appreciate that, mate. And I'll no doubt speak to you soon.
Yeah, enjoy. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, Phil. Right. Okay, guys, we are going to move on, and I'm going to show you now what we can do with bots. I'm going to fly through this relatively quickly. We're already at an hour, so we've probably put loads into this. What I might do is, once we've finished this one, come back on it. Does anyone want to go deeper into targeting at all? Because if you do, I don't mind coming back on afterwards and we'll do another 15 minutes on targeting. But I want to show you, I'm going to share my phone screen and show you some of the stuff that we're doing. I'm only going to spend 10 minutes on this and absolutely fire through it, but just give you an example of what we can do if we're really, really going to go for it with bots and automation. Okay, so, right. I'm going to share my screen now. So I'm going to share my phone screen. Is it a lot better to put ads direct from ManyChat than Facebook Ads Manager? No, I always go through Ads Manager. I'm a big fan of ManyChat, but I think the Ads Manager interface is better. So I'm going to share my phone screen. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to go into Messenger. And this, I'm going to go to, okay, this is one of our accounts that we're running. This is a live account, it's a client's account. And this is actually a company called Modare. But we built this because a lot of network marketers now understand that everything is working off one page. So we've got a team of network marketers. It's one page, one ManyChat account, one ad account. Yeah. And so all of the team members, they don't need a Facebook business page. They don't need an ad manager account. They don't need a ManyChat account. And we've actually centralized the entire thing. And we've set this up so it's so easy to get started. And you imagine it's like a digital virtual business card. So if I go to main menu on here, so that's our permanent menu, and we call this our Diva system. I can go to invite and share. Now I've added things into this like adding in my Facebook profile, connecting on WhatsApp, which if you're in Europe or anywhere outside of North America, crazy. Now let me show you how quick this is, that a member of your team can come in and actually start prospecting, right? And I'm going to set the whole thing up from scratch, and it's going to take like 1 minute. So first thing is add a phone number in. So this is a digital business card we're setting up, but it does all kinds of stuff. So get started. First thing, take a phone number. Guess what? Facebook knows it. All I need to do is tap it, and that's it. It's taken. That's the correct number. I could type something else in if I wanted to. Now I'm going to take a selfie, or I could upload something from the gallery. So me and the bee. And that's done. Save it. And we're taking all of this data off and storing it actually on our server. I'll put all of it. I know what the picture's coming. And then I'm going to create a video. Remember, we're talking about make it personal, make it engaging. Let's put a welcome video into it. So, yeah, I want to make that. Onto my camera. Hi, it's just a demo video about my amazing opportunity, which you'd be a fool to miss. It's just a demo video. So there we go. And that's it. Set up. All good to go. So imagine that there's no building flows or anything like this. It's everyone's just in and done. And then we've set up various different ways that we can share this. The various different things that we've got. If I go back here, I go back to invite and share. What I've built into this is a cold market, which is an opportunity flow. I'm not going to show you the flow itself because we've tried, and it's our tried and tested content on this one. We have a warm market flow, which is just that, like a series of yes questions. So people that we've already engaged with quite a lot. I know, Jeff, you've been working on a version of this. It's not quite this one. And the ways that we can share it. So I've added in a QR code. Yeah, so, and this is bespoke to me. URL, which I can copy and paste anywhere, or the card itself. And that's exactly what I've just made. The welcome video. Just a demo video about my amazing opportunity, which you'd be a fool to miss. Yeah. See the square with the arrow next to it? I can share this to, I'll send it to Ollie, remember my business partner from yesterday. That's it. I've sent my business card to him, and he could then start going through that prospecting flow. Other things that we've got in this. So if I go to main menu again, in fact, what I'm going to do is just show you back on here. Check this out, right? So if I want to share products, remember that product flow that we did? What is it I want to share? So there's a few in there, and let's say I want to share this one. How would I like to share it? A link. So could send my link to the replicated site. I don't work for this company. It's just one we made for somebody. A card. Check this out. If I hit WhatsApp me, so obviously we've got a live link to this person's replicated site product. Check this out. It actually opens up in my WhatsApp and has pre-filled the question as well. So people don't think they're giving you a phone number when they contact you in WhatsApp, but they're giving you a phone number. So all the person has to do is click send, and that's it. And then what we do is if we go back to the menu, I can actually go to a custom website that we've built, and we can then look at all of the prospects. So remember, we've got people that people that have come into our qualification flow are leads. Well, people who have said that they're interested are hot leads. So I only need to worry about them, and I can view every single answer that this person has given and the time they did it and what they've watched and what they've done. I can even send them a message direct in Messenger. And bear in mind that the network marketing business owners aren't even admins on the page, but they can send a message through somebody else's Facebook page. So that's like the very fast overview of what's actually possible if you start. No, Edward, each downline member doesn't have the Facebook page. They don't have a ManyChat account. Everything's on the one account. And we actually run Facebook ads for these people as well. So people who can opt in, so everybody opts in to a Facebook ad and I run it for them. And they just deal with the qualified leads. So it's, people are just buying leads, direct into their system, direct into their funnel, direct into their qualification flow, and they can see them in real time. So the moment a cold lead from a Facebook ad hits, yes, I want to know more about your business, the business owner is notified that this person. And then we go on to say, how do you want to contact us? WhatsApp, phone number, Facebook Messenger, we offer your Facebook profile, all sorts of stuff. 5-day training in there from Fraser Brooks for people who are members. It's we do this for a lot of leaders within, well, a lot of teams within network marketing. So we create these systems for network marketing teams. So, right, that's quite a lot we've got through tonight, showing you what's possible with, summarize what I did just there. So that's actually the systems that my company build for network marketing teams. And those that is our Diva system. It's a system which works off one page and one ManyChat account, and you don't need an ads account, you don't need your own Facebook page, you don't need any of that. Basically, we have it all, and the people just subscribe to it. So, so there you go. So the cool thing about the bot site, well, certainly this one is that, and the reason you would automate the whole process anyway is that we can control the behavior of each member to not abuse Messenger. So, well, yeah, we don't add tags on there so that you can send stuff anyway. If somebody is working against the rules, then we would just take them out of the system. So, is it expensive? Well, it's not it's not going to be the cheapest thing ever, is it? But we actually only ask $23.99 for people to subscribe to that system. There is a setup cost, but yeah, $23.99 to subscribe to the system. And it's realistically for if you've got a reasonable team, you could do that. I'm not here to try and sell you that. I'm just trying to show you what's totally possible when you really take it to the limits. So what have we gone through tonight? We've gone through Facebook ads. We've gone through some targeting and shown you how absolutely laser focused you can be for your exact audience. So imagine that you've got, you want to target a specific type of person. Your ad copy can relate to that sort of person. So the reason why a 60-year-old male truck driver gets into your business is different for the reason a 25-year-old female executive with children gets into your business. So your ad copy can say that, and you can target exactly that person. It's relevant, it resonates with them, and that's why you would do that. Where could you learn to build a system like that? It's no, the actual price, the price for us to create the system. Could you? I'm not going into the price. I'm not trying to sell the system here. It's as I say, it's $23.99 or £23.99 to actually subscribe each month to use the whole system. But we have a setup cost. Realistically, if you've got a team of, I don't know, you'd want 100 plus to be using it. It's taken a long time. You know, I've been working with ManyChat since it started. And this actually involves a lot of development, systems, servers, databases. You know, the ManyChat is the kind of tip of the iceberg, if you like. So yeah, but there is $23.99, but there's a setup cost. There is a setup cost for it. So yeah, we've talked about what you can do with bots. We've talked about what you can do with ads. And that, my friends, is the end of day 5. So I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know from you. I will come back on in a couple of minutes. We'll start a new live because I want to put this separately because it's a bonus. Which organisation are you in, Denise? I would love to know from you what you got from this week and has it been beneficial to you? I would love to do these sort of things again. So if you have got something from this, perhaps you could put a post on the page, or you could send me a message just with kind of a paragraph of what you've got from it, or if you've enjoyed it. That would be absolutely amazing. I would really, really appreciate that. So yeah, if you could do that. Everything that we've done this week and more, I'm going to put together in a pack. You'll have an opportunity to get all of this and an awful lot more, putting a load of information together with Fraser and Vincenzo to put a full pack together for you. It won't be free, but it won't be expensive. And you are more than welcome to get that. The recordings are going to stay here for a little bit anyway. So what we'll do is I'll post the link to that. It might get emailed out. End of the day, if you've taken a step, if you've got an account, you've started playing around with it, mission accomplished for me. I really, really appreciate you sort of taking part and getting into it. So really well done you. And some of the stuff that I've seen you do is amazing. Really, really impressive. If you could just put one paragraph together for me, just as to what you've got from it, I would be forever grateful. So thank you so much. And do feel free to send me a friend request or catch me on Instagram or wherever you like. That would be awesome. So I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to come back on and we'll delve a little bit into targeting on ads if that's what some of you want to do, but it will be here in the group. It'll be live again. So thank you so much, everyone. The additional info, I've got to put it together as yet. I think there's going to be quite a lot in there. There's going to be videos, so all the content to keep forever from this. I don't know, transcriptions of it, additional content, templates. So everything that we've built, I'll kind of make more of it, make templates of it, do other templates, and really just a full pack that you can just install straight onto your own systems as well. So loads of stuff, like an absolute ton of stuff for you. So there you go. Where do you put it? You can either post it, put it as a post onto here if you can do something, or just message me directly. And you know, whatever works for you, that'll be awesome. Right, so thank you so much, guys. I'm going to come back on in a minute. Abdul, yeah, just put it as a post onto this group or send it to me directly. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you in a few minutes if you want a little bit more on Facebook ad targeting, and we'll just go through a bit of a Q&A on that. Yeah, the break is going to be literally a couple of seconds, so I will catch you in a minute, guys.